How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to show you 7 ways you can use to bargain for a really low price. For me, I learned how to bargain just really through buying stuff at street vendors in Asia. Depending on the store, you have the ability to bargain or not. Sometimes the price is fixed completely and they have no way of changing it just for you. Other times, if the owner is there, of course, they can change the price whenever they want. The first and most important thing to keep in mind when bargaining is the psychology of it. You really don't want to appear like you actually really want the item. Now, if you actually want the item, which you have a high chance of wanting because you browse through all the stuff and then you go, oh, I want this item. Now the store owner is gonna see this, and if they see that you really want this item, they're not gonna be inclined to give you such a good price. So the way to go about this is actually to give off an image that you don't really want the item. The best way to do that is actually to not really want that item. If you have something that you kind of want, you should ask for a low price for it. And then if you ask like 10 different stores once, you might get one of them that you might actually get. With enough practice, you can kind of have a feeling of what you act like when you are asking on an item that you just kind of want but not really. But really, actually not really wanting the item is the best way. The second way to get a really good bargain, which is in line with the first one, is you should be prepared to walk away. Meaning that you are willing to give up on the item, because if you're not going to give up on the item, you actually want that item really badly and they're going to have this fixed price and they won't go any lower, then yeah, you're gonna go in there and buy it for a higher price. Oftentimes vendors will sell similar things, so if they do sell similar things, you can go and ask one vendor and another, and then you can do a sort of price comparison. But you also need to make sure that the vendors don't have their price fixed, because sometimes all of the vendors in the same area, you know, they probably collude or something and go, oh, don't sell this item for less than $12 or something. However, if you go to like a different part of town, they might sell it for like $5. The third thing to remember is all this is just a numbers game. With enough tries where you're offering a reasonable price, at least one of them is going to take the offer. When I say reasonable, you can't just completely lowball them and then go, oh, I'm gonna pay $1 for this, you know, $100 valued item or even $10 valued item. You can't just go $1 and hope that you do it 100 times and someone would say yes, because that's completely unreasonable. The reason the vendor might be selling something, it could be numerous. It could be that maybe they're trying to make it at the end of the month or something and they really want to get rid of a product. Even at cost, they're willing to do so. Then you can't really know ahead of time if they're in this situation or not. Maybe the item that you want, they sell a lot of it already, so they're not really willing to go lower in price because, you know, if you don't buy it, plenty of other people will buy it for that price that they want. The fourth way to get a good bargain, of course, is to know the value of the item. Now, it may be hard to know the cost of the item, but with enough research, you should be able to get down to it. A lot of times in Asia, the cost of the item may be a lot less than you think, because you might be conditioned to think, oh yeah, in the Western world, you know, this thing is that much value to me. And then when you go over there, it's completely does not work that way. You should really ask like a local or something, oh, how much do you think this would cost or whatnot. Of course, when you see a price tag on a certain item, you really should not lowball so much that you insult the seller, because sometimes you could do this and this would just completely ruin your chances of getting a good deal on the item. At the same time, just being pleasant and likable when you do the transaction, being respectful of the seller, could go a long way when you're trying to ask for a lower price. If you come to a point where the seller won't go any lower, there are creative ways to work around it. If they won't go any lower and you really want to get that for, you know, $5 less, you could ask, hey, maybe can you include another item at cost or something? Or maybe they can throw that in for free, you know, like an extra little item or something, just put that in for free to combine it. Sometimes they might go for that. In that case, the value of that item is just at cost to them, which could be very low. However, the value to you could be, you know, 3 to 5 times higher. So even in that case, if you have to pay a little bit more on top of what they're asking, it might be worth it to you just because you can combine them and then both sides would benefit. Sometimes when they have a certain price set and you've been discussing for a while, it sort of becomes an ego thing. They're like, oh no, I want to set it at this price, I'm not going to go any lower. Because if they go any lower, it's sort of saying like, oh, I give in, you win. So asking them to throw in another item at the price they're asking sort of helps them save face, and both parties can benefit as well. The sixth way to get a good bargain is at some point you're probably looking at the item itself. Maybe you might be examining it. If at any point that you find any of the accessories missing, if you find a stain, a hole, or a scratch or anything like that, real tangible defects, okay, not just like tiny little thing that you're nitpicking on, then usually if it's significant, I've always been able to get the price down lower because they can see that it's damaged goods, and so you can ask for a lower price and they're easily willing to do this for you. The seventh, and not my favorite way to get a bargain, is that you can actually wear them down. You hang around the store and, you know, like look at this and then just ask them the price on this, ask them the price on that, and then maybe you circle around and go, are you sure you don't want to give me at this price? But I don't really like doing that because it kind of wastes my time and it kind of wastes their time. So this is kind of like a last resort, and I actually, I don't think I've ever tried this method before myself, but I've seen other people do this. So those are ways to get a good bargain. You don't usually come across places that you can bargain at over in the States. Maybe when you're in like Chinatown or something where they have vendors, maybe at farmers market, crafts fairs, anything with independent sellers, then you can really bargain with them. So thanks for watching. I hope you make use of some of these tactics to get yourself a lower price. Don't forget to give me a like on this video, comment down below. Let me know if you've tried any of these methods or if some of them are new to you and you're gonna try it in the future. If you're interested in supporting this channel, don't forget to check out my Audible link down in the video description below. And if you like the subscription, of course keep on keeping it. But if you don't like the subscription, you can cancel before the trial period ends, and you can keep the audiobook that you got for free, and you can help out this channel even if you cancel the subscription. I also have a Patreon link over here, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.